I've stood up to represent California.
I already said that I didn't even know about SB 277. I admit it, okay? The only question that I have is who's going to end up going to the general and who I will be facing in the general election. My hope is that it's Richard Pan. I said that I wanted Richard Pan to win the primary because I want to go against Richard Pan in the primary. So what? I know people are upset at me and saying you waited to the last minute. So I was there at 2:30, okay? I should have gone in before that. My error, and I've already admitted it, was that I included copies with the signature. I admit, doing it on the last day, I will admit that, okay? I admit that I included copies. Please pray, because with God nothing's impossible. And pray that Tuesday would go according to God's will. And that's all I'm asking, that God's will be done on Tuesday. And if that's my last day there, then I submit that I was wrong, believing that God had called me to this, or that He's called me up to this point. Here's the situation is the paperwork was just not filed properly. My hope was that the judge still would be willing to listen, but the fact is he didn't have to, and he was abiding by the law by not listening to my case. The only person who showed up, there's only one person who showed up, and he's not for me.
Distract us from getting a good Republican candidate in, and then you self-sabotage at the last minute by not turning in the paperwork correctly, and then you take him to court and you don't turn in that paperwork correctly, and now you're off. And you're still distracting.
You were there.
You're not endorsing another candidate. You need to step away, and then you need to endorse a candidate, and you need to stop distracting people.
I didn't have anybody else here to support me, and I have to say that part is a little disconcerting, because if the people aren't in this, if the people are not going to be standing. I'm a voice for the people. The Pan recall.
You're a voice for the people who can't turn in his paperwork on time, and it takes the guy to court and can't turn that paperwork in on time. Like, really, we need somebody competent.
I actually had made a commitment, actually in speaking to a friend, that I would never consider being a write-in. Anytime someone tells me that they're gonna run for office as a write-in, I don't consider them a credible candidate. It's improbable when you look at what's in front of you for someone to run as a write-in and to get into office. I think that running on a write-in, I already even said it. I said it to Andrew that I believe that would split. That's not my intention. I said I was going to tell you who I am going to endorse. At this point, I endorse myself. I do. We have to get 40,000 intelligent people who can write my name in that. And I know that's going to be a challenge, it's like, because they have to spell it correctly.
There's so much incongruency where people do things that contradict their actions, or they say things and then they contradict themselves, but nobody notices it.
Do you realize how stupid it made him look?
We've seen it with politicians. You know, they can say something and then later on, they just totally say something and misrepresent something, and then later on pretend like they didn't say it, but yet the proof is there, and it's almost like people just keep moving on and they don't think about it. Anytime someone tells me that they're gonna run for office as a write-in, I don't consider them a credible candidate. Do I regret it? Do I regret having those copies? Oh my goodness. You know, yes.
You should have read the rules and known you shouldn't have turned in copies.